What is the constructor chaining in C#? We can call an overloaded constructor from another constructor using this keyword, but the constructor must belong to the same class because this keyword is pointing to the members of the same class in which this is used. This type of calling the overloaded constructor is also termed as constructor chaining. Describe accessibility modifiers in C#. Access modifiers are keywords that define the accessibility of a member, class, or data type in a program. These are mainly used to restrict unwanted data manipulation by external programs or classes. There are 4 access modifiers: public, protected, internal, private, which define the 6 accessibility levels as follows: public, private, private, protected, protected, internal, protected, internal. What is a virtual method in C#? In C#, a virtual method is a strategy that can be reclassified in derived classes. We can implement the virtual method in the base class and derived class. It is utilized when a method's fundamental work is similar, but in some cases, the derived class needed additional functionalities. A virtual method is declared in the parent class that can be overridden in the child class. We make a virtual method in the base class by using the virtual keyword, and that method is overridden in the derived class using the override keyword. It is not necessary for every derived class to inherit a virtual method, but a virtual method must be created in the base class. Hence, the virtual method is also known as polymorphism. What is file handling in C#? Generally, the file is used to store the data. The term file handling refers to the various operations like creating the file, reading from the file, writing to the file, appending the file, etc. There are 2 basic operations that are mostly used in file handling: reading and writing of the file. The file becomes a stream when we open the file for writing and reading. A stream is a sequence of bytes that is used for communication. 2 streams can be formed from the file. One is the input stream, which is used to read the file, and another is the output stream, which is used to write in the file. In CWART, the system.io namespace contains classes that handle input and output streams and provide information about file and directory structure. List down the commonly used types of exceptions. An exception is an error that happens at runtime. Using CMAR's exception handling subsystem, we can, during a structured and controlled manner, handle runtime errors. The primary advantage of exception handling is that it automates much of the error handling code. Exception handling is additionally important because CIX defines standard exceptions for common program errors like divide by 0 or index out of range. C#. Exception with their meaning. Array type mismatch exception. This exception comes when the type of value being stored is incompatible with the type of the array. Divide by 0 exception. It comes when the user tries to divide an integer value by 0. Index out of range exception. When an array index is out of bounds, this exception occurs. Invalid cast exception. A runtime cast is invalid. Out of memory exception. Insufficient free memory exists to continue program execution. Overflow. Exception. An arithmetic overflow occurred. Null reference. Exception. An attempt was made to operate on a null reference, that is, a reference that does not refer to an object. What is singleton design pattern in C#? The singleton design pattern in CIX is a common design pattern. In this pattern, a class has just one instance in the program that gives global access to it. Or we can say that a singleton is a class that permits only one instance of itself to be made, and usually gives simple access to that instance. How to implement a singleton design pattern in C#? We can implement a singleton design pattern in C# using no thread safe singleton, thread safety singleton, thread safety singleton using double check locking, thread safe without a lock, using .NET 4's lazy type. What are events? An event is a notification that some action has occurred. Delegates and events are related because an event is built upon a delegate. Both expand the set of programming tasks to which CDARs can be applied. An important CR feature is built upon the foundation of delegates, the event. An event is, essentially, an automatic notification that some action has occurred. What is the difference between dispose and finalize methods in C#? The primary difference between dispose and finalize is that the dispose must be explicitly invoked by the user, and the finalize is called by the garbage collector when the object is destroyed. What is a multicasting delegate in C#? Multicasting of delegate is an extension of the normal delegate, sometimes termed as single cast delegate. It helps the user to point more than one method in a single call. Thank you.